it's adapted well or not, because the picks and bans are here. Byburn.
They are. Fiora, first one off the table.
Of course.
I mean, you have to get rid of it. It's such a strong, can be flexed around the map a little bit as well, so always a safe one to remove. There's the Ziggs, as we saw. Ziggs got through a couple of games earlier in that first series, so not going to be seeing him this time around, but of course, there's time to adapt. This is kind of a clean slate draft. You get to play pretty much whatever you want that isn't in the full meta or easily targeted, but as we go forward, there will be some more adaptation. Really happy the Seraphine's off the table.
I'm not happy about this. I love Seraphine, although I didn't love quite the Senna Seraphine bot lane that we saw yesterday, for example. But doesn't matter. Riken also not gonna be on this game. Another really strong support being played a lot by these teams today and yesterday as well. So once again, we're taking kind supports out of the table.
Yeah, and we could see a couple more coming away, really pinching that role. Stuff like the Lulu, Nama, we've seen Braum has been popular as well. So there's a couple of options there, but of course, really strong picks. Up in that Baron lane, you've got Coalstar versus Leon. Galio actually going to be the one removed next up. So that's another flexible pick we've seen all over the map, but he's going to be nowhere on the map this game.
Oh, by the way, look at the unicorns. Making sure I cannot ignore it. It is so cute. Representing really well the team that he is part of. So the baby, right there, accompanying them for the last ban of the series, well, the series of the game.
I was about to say, it's best of 5, come on.
Okay, Gragas. We've seen quite a few roles, support, top laner, mid laner even, and that is not strange to us.
Crocodile.
No,
Crocodile.
please do not pick up the crocodile.
But more importantly, Senna is available. Could go in that direction. It's something that we saw so much success on from Team Queso in the last series. We were having a little bit of talk in the green room, and people were like, you need to ban it. It's such a strong pick. It can be really flexible. Galio is one of the preferred things down in the bot lane with it, so obviously can't do that. But Nasus is still available if they want to go that direction. Orianna, we've seen played with it to some success, so we'll have to see if they want to go for that build around. They've got the first pick, Unicorns of Love. That being said, plenty of more traditionally strong picks to go as well, but there it is, the Senna locked in.
You talked about it. A real interesting pick. The ultimates have been just on point today. Done in shadow, just hitting everyone drift. Also a really, really wide range. So of course, it's the kind of champion that you can play a little bit from afar with, especially as she's stacking souls. And as a counter pick, we're gonna have Camille. Not as a counter pick really, but as a pick for RIX. Camille on the top lane. Really good choice here for Leon, and especially in duelists and split fishers.
I mean, it's really cool because Leon really great at this style of champion, loves to be in that dueling style, loves to be around the map making stuff happen. And
Listen is also there.
I know, I was about to get on to
Okay.
Carmen. I was about to say, because you mentioned,
Yeah.
locked in, we love that, but you said the Camille kind of a counter pick to Senna. It is, because Camille and Lee Sin, they love going onto these slightly more mobile marksmen at the back. Senna's going to need to do a lot of work to get the range out of the fight. And with a couple of champions that can easily dive through, it's not a good time for her. She does have a Renekton and a Twisted Fate now on her side.
Wow.
So, what do you think of these two picks?
I mean, these two picks are really complementing her. As you've kind of introduced the topic here, I want to talk about Twisted Fate. Champion that we've seen quite a lot lately not being banned, and this is something that we discussed as well. When the champions are being picked but not really being banned, so that means they're in a position where that can do damage, they're strong, but they do have counter picks that can help the enemy team beat them. In any case, got a few more picks on the table, such as Corki and Ezreal. Finally, two champions that can be interchangeable when it comes to being marksman.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's likely to be the Corki in that mid lane, Ezreal down in the Dragon lane, just because that's what we traditionally see from Ezreal.
Yeah.
There's the Nasus to go alongside the Senna. We've seen it a couple of games for TK, so look decent in both. We'll have to see if Unicorns of Love have been learning, watching behind the scenes. And there's Intel coming through as well. Interestingly, it's Ashe at jungle. This is the pick that we saw Phaeton play very, very well yesterday. And it's going to be the Braum to go alongside the Ezreal. So a really nice, safe bot lane from RIX. Two compositions. They've both got a lot of good stuff going for them.
Yeah, the first thing that I want to comment on is how Shinzao isn't going to be played by Phantom, but by Ashe.
Yes.
So we don't know how Ashe really plays this champion. I mean, we can know from previous tournaments, but still, it's to be proven here on the stage. So, is it time for now?
Yeah, it's time to go into the game. First one of this best of 5 semi-final. Winner will face Team Queso in the best of 7 final tomorrow, Super Sunday, here in the Origin Series Championship. But we've got a couple of players here that I want to run my rule over a little bit before we get going. It doesn't seem like there's going to be big invades coming on through. It is actually Phaeton playing on the console of right now.
Oh, I've been baited.
We were baited by that one, but it makes a lot of sense because, as we mentioned, he played this champion yesterday, looked very, very good on it. So it makes sense that he'd be the one piloting it here.
Yeah, and there's something that I also want to talk about. Is this bot lane of Senna and Nasus. In this case, if we think about it, a monster of farming like Nasus paired up with Senna, it is a really good pick. In this case, it's in the hands of the support of Grizzly Q, but it's still working quite well in there. You've got the range, you've got the tank, you've got a fighter, damage coming in from that bot lane. Now, if you compare it to RIX's bot lane, you have Brown in order to protect as well, who at times can be really squishy, especially in the early levels of the game. We'll see how he fares, but I'm seeing a really, really good bot lane for Unicorns of Love at the moment. Also, I cannot wait to see the matchup here in the top lane. As you can see, Coolstar being a little bit cornered by the range that Camille has. But let's see if Coolstar can, retake a little bit of his kingdom.
Yeah, I mean, he's been playing so well so far this tournament. We're actually going to get a little bit of a play in the mid lane. Snitch goes low, but gets the heal down and forces Phaeton back away. One more auto would get the stun. That is it. Is the damage there? No, it's not even with the butt. Actually, Phaeton goes low. Phaeton goes down. First blood to red buff. First blood to Doom.
Something to notice as well. Clue has lost both his flash and his heal, so very dangerous position right there.
Q and Grizzly Q, they're looking towards Snitch, but he's just going to be able to waddle his way out. Pretty easy for the Corki to escape that one, but Doom going to make his way to the top lane. Nice stun coming in from Leon, as Doom looking for it, can't find the engage, and will be forced to back away. Leon goes very low on that attempt as well, but crucially doesn't go down.
Flash is going down all the time, all around every single lane. You could see here how Leon needed it to escape. You could see here how Clue also had to use it. Well, we're gonna see the replay right now. It's Snitch alone in lane until Clue and Doom arrive. Clue flashes in, also using the stand behind me to kind of help his laner. Faton also arrives and he's gonna leave really affected and then stop dying.
Yeah, the auto attack from Lee Sin crucial there to put that red buff burn down, which is what secured the kill after that first ability landed from Snitch on the Corki. Interestingly, we've seen a lot of Snitch on the Twisted Fate so far this tournament. Yeah. Now he's against the Twisted Fate on Corki, which is another one of these favoured champions we've seen from people. Doom hanging around in the top lane alongside Leon. We've said that one before, and I'm so sure we'll say it again in this series, because these two players, they've got really great synergy, and if you can get a Camille and a Lee Sin ahead, and more crucially, if you can shut down the Renekton, surely jobs are good and for RIX.
This is also something that we've talked and we've touched upon before, how Doom tends to farm and prioritize Leon's top lane just because of the potential that the player has. But in this situation, I feel like Snitch has also been given quite a chance to shine on his own. And bot lane, well, once again, Fnatic will have to deal with it on their own, but not much trouble going on for them, so it's fine. Now for the UOL side, Phaeton is protecting his lane nailed. He knows he can be attacked. And look at
nice
this.
Kick from Doom. Steeland's in so much trouble, and it's just as simple as that. And only 20 seconds before the objective spawn, picking up a kill here is really nice. Of course, Twisted Fate has the ultimate to get back involved. But in the top side, Leon, he's also going to have to make a cheeky recall if he wants to be at full health to contest this Herald. Doom moving up. But good play from RIX.
Yeah, and no chances for them. They have to go back right now. RIX, they have just enough time if they wanted to get there. Really careful. Nobody seems to be looking towards the Herald though right now. They're looking more towards this first dragon that is going to be spawning right now. Wind Dragon right there. You can see them coming up a little bit. Phaeton, let's see if he tries to steal it. He still got his might. Ready to attack. They're up front to prioritize mid lane. Dragon for mid lane, that's a good choice. Herald perhaps right now as well. RIX is not going to have the time to get there, but be careful because they've been spotted.
Oh, Snitch needs to be a little bit careful, but has the package rolling. Phaeton has been calling the ultimatum. He's going to be bursted down. RIX pick up the kill. Dragon's already gone their way, and now Rift Herald on the map, surely going to go their way as well.
Once again, they can take it. The question here will be, where can they use it? And of course, the answer that all of us, I think, have in mind is going to the top lane to help out Leon with that, to get the advantage that Camille needs to actually be a damage dealer, because now besides hook shot and jumping around. She cannot do that much. Hectic ultimate is not up just yet. It will be really useful for him. But instead, what we are going to be seeing there, not being thrown just yet. We're gonna keep it a little bit alive to see what UOL decides to contest with.
Well, Fred needs to be a little bit careful. It looks like Unicorns Love want to dive on, and it's going to be a Twist of Fate using the Destiny Gate to secure the kill. Easy as that. Unicorns Love take the pick. RIX is going to respond though. Clue coming through just to make sure this tower stays alive. He's got other support. Glacial Fissure coming in as Snitch is going to run forward as well. It's a 2v4 in this situation right now though, as Camille a little bit late to the party. Leon going to be supporting, but Doom in the mid lane, he's got Rift Herald, he's got Shelly in support, and this could be not first tower, but a big one in the bot lane though. RIX getting turned around onto Clue, needs to be careful. He's burnt down. Snitch might go the same direction. Nice ornament coming on through, but he does manage to survive on the side though. I don't know about that one, Leon. He's going to be able to dive away as Doom dives forward to save the top laner's life. But not going to be able to get too much more. Tower mid did go down though.
Yeah, and I think Unicorns have kind of put themselves on spot right there, choosing to go all together to a bot lane, leaving RIX essentially to be able to throw the Herald right there in the mid lane, helping out the Snitch in this case, who's playing Hawkeye, who's been doing quite well to throw that first tower of game. But nothing is to be discarded just yet. We've got Friend and Close switching lanes, trying to get here to the top lane. And we're gonna see it again in a replay. The ultimate for Sun arriving just in time. You can see Doom is still quite far away trying to get there. Ezreal tries to ultimate as well, but doesn't really hit anyone. And that leaves Unicorns Love the perfect chance to just go after RIX and get those 2 kills in.
7 minutes on the clock here. Gold dead even. This game is on a knife's edge, and it's a little bit quicker than the last one we saw in that last best of 5. You know, no one going down until what, 14th a minute? Pretty wild in that one, but bit more action here. The teams are slightly more unleashed. Of course, it's the first of a best of 5, and we're going to be looking at the fight though. Coldstar might have got a little bit over aggressive, but does have the dominance rolling. The damage on the Snitch, but he's going to be able to dive away, but no one else is. Coldstar from across the map goes down as Zaku looks to turn this one around. Ultimatum for the Nasus. He's going to be caught up, and there's nowhere for him to go. A really nice snare, but it just doesn't matter. Phaeton has to ult in order to stay alive, but he's looking for the re-engage potentially, but not going to follow through on it. Loses half his health bar to the poke and will back away. RIX GG turn the fight around.
I mean, even if they try to re-engage, you have a Snitch right there to hit you from quite a distance, just to help you with that.
Bot lane, an fight going on. Please be careful. Lands the Winter's Bite for the stun as Leon moves forward. It's 3v1, but it's fine. He's safe. He's not going too deep. It looks like support isn't coming through just yet, but Doom en route dodges out the snare from Leon. So the Lee Sin is here if they want to go for the fight, but so many members of Unicorns of Love are as well. RIX G, they're considering it, you know. They want to potentially look for some of these skill shots, but in the end, they're happy to back away.
I mean, these were 4 team members versus 2, and one of them is Leon, granted, but Unicorns of Love still wanted to fight for this bot lane tower. Right now, being quite aggressive towards them. They just don't want to back up just now. In the meantime, just leave Nasus farming top lane. I mean, Nasus' usual role right there. It's not a big deal. He can do well on his own, but this again leaves the opening for this dragon for RIX to be taken by. And well, you can see the gold lead is not that big. The towers are spread up.
Snitch! That's a brave little package, but it's okay in the end. It'll be a 4v3 if they go for the fight, as Nasus is going to move through. Dragon for some farm on Zach Q. As we know, Senna Nasus, you mentioned it before. Really, really scary moving towards the mid and late game because they just keep scaling up. But look at this fight once again.
Yeah, we are seeing here Coles are suffering quite a lot. You can see Camille and
watch the Ezreal a lot as well.
Going there. The ultimate that just gets the kill onto Renekton, onto Coldstar. But Unicorns of Love are gonna keep on try and chase. Leon is right there, really powerful already with Camille with quite a few kills in his pocket. This isn't gonna be a problem for RIX to just turn around and try to get the kills onto Unicorns of Love.
And that's what they've been doing so far. The tower bot lane eventually falls.
Finally.
It took them a few attempts, and you can see Clue moving down, but was like, it's just me? Okay, I'll let this one go finally. But they do trade it on the top side. And now Friend is in a lot of trouble, but he's pretty safe. Will the gold can't come through? He goes golden himself. But then the stun comes through. There's all the CC, and there's the easy kill for Unicorns.
I have to say, Grace the Q's ultimates having quite good. I mean, I know Senna's ultimate, down usually is already powerful enough on its own, but here it's being used quite probably to just, you know, flank the enemy team, make sure that even if they want to escape, they don't have enough distance for the enemy to do so. And so, another kill for them. Real interesting one here. Leon keeps collecting them. And Friend getting caught in between there. Really bad choice. And really not warded enough to know what was going to happen. And the next fight seems to be around the barn, already being warded off. Look at RIX.
No, they're going to be able to catch out Zinzao. He's going to force them to back away, but the Glacial Fissure lands onto 2, and there's the kick coming through as well. The ultimate from Ezreal won't do enough to secure any kills this time around, but it does force Unicorns of Love to back away a little bit. Baron's on the map, but I don't think it's a quick take for RIX right now. Sneeland has the gold card, so Doom won't follow up. These two teams, they just want to keep fighting.
Yeah, really aggressive against each other. This was a matchup that we've seen yesterday. We saw Unicorns of Love come out victoriously out of that with, I think, 14 kills over nothing from RIX. But in this case, different situation, different day, different mentality. RIX really want to take that victory to prove that they are truly the champions of Europe. And, well, that is such a heavy charge to carry in your back. They're doing it. And I think this matchup is quite even right now. You have two different teams with different strategies that are going to face each other almost right now. Already mid lane, ready to start the team fight time, getting to late game really shortly. And look at them. The next step will be the Baron, heading towards the top lane right now, perhaps to flank a little bit to make sure that Unicorns of Love doesn't try and go to do it. So, Viper, an interesting situation in front of our eyes. Careful there with Leon, who could be caught in a sticky situation.
Yeah, Leon's going to be able to back away, no overextension this time around. And honestly, as this game goes a little bit further forward, obviously the Senna Nasus is scary. We're not going to deny that one. But we've seen how strong poke around these objectives can be. You've got Corki, you've got Ezreal on the side of RIX. You're not going into 5v5 fights with full health bars if you're on Unicorns of Love. It just doesn't happen. And we know how great RIX can be if they've got even the slightest advantage. One person goes slightly low, Camille, Lee Sin, they're going to be able to bundle in and maybe go for assassinations, re-engage opportunities with the kick and the ultimatum. And then suddenly, team fights all won. They've got themselves the very slightest of gold leads, barely worth mentioning in Wild Rift 12 minutes into the game, less than just over 1,000 in the bank over their opposition.
Yeah, really not that uncommon. Now positioning themselves a little bit here in the mid lane, trying to scare the enemy away, going for that dragon that hasn't really been prioritized in all the games that we've seen, like the Roman was kind of ignored. Here, they don't even mind if it's not Inferno, it's still useful. Leon, on the other hand, kind of split pushing right there, getting back to mid lane. But careful, because Unicorns of Love, again, know where he is at. Just he needs RIX to come help him, and that's exactly what they're going to do.
Ooh, Leon needs to be a little careful, but he's got support in the wings. This could be a pretty big fight. Nice kick, nice Glacial Fissure landing on ZaQ, but he's not taking too much damage. The wall of NASA stands strong once again. Stitch in the bot side, not interested in the fight right now, wants to get the tower. But that does mean if Unicorns Love can force something, then they could have the man advantage for a few seconds longer. RIX under their tower, Doom in the flank. They're not going to be able to find anything as Snitch turns up. Now we could be seeing a 5v5, and that's the start of this poke. Grizzly Q already so low. Sleeland already below half health, and that's Doom going in, but he goes down instantly. Camille is dead. Lee Sin's almost there as well on the side. Snitch has to flash over the wall as the Destiny Gate comes on down. It's only going to be a slow, but it doesn't matter because Corki's already done. As RIX GG lose 2, hide under tower. They're against 5 here from the Unicorns, who are looking to put pressure on.
This is something that we haven't really talked about, but if you look at RIX's composition, the only real tank that you can use in here is Brown to stand in front of everyone else, because Camille, once again, okay, she has a little bit more of HP, but if you take a Smith, such as Corki or Ezreal himself, there are not champions that are particularly have a class sustain both in lane team fights. And now here in the replay, you can see that the first kills with Senna ultimate are once again being really interested, and it's nailed with the ultimate again. Destiny properly positioned just from far away. He doesn't even need to get up close with the ultimate. He's able to do so. They get that kill that is going to be decisive in this game.
Oh, Doom actually might have been caught out. Has to use the kick defensively, but members are showing up in response. Phaeton has to ult to keep his team safe, and Unicorns of Love will disengage without taking a kill, but without losing a member as well.
Really important right there. If they had gotten killed at this time, RIX would have probably been out of game due to the Baron just being there for taking. Careful Val from once again doing the frontliner role for his team, but again, he cannot be the only one doing this. They have Leon split pushing the bot lane trying to get something out of there because in team fights, they're really not doing that well.
Yeah, Leon on the side lane, he's trying to gain anything he can, but they've got a Nasus to respond to him, and Zach Q, having a decent game, has got a couple of items in his pocket, is going to be able to survive against Leon pretty handedly at this stage. So it's going to be difficult for the Camille to put on too much pressure, but as long as RIX can stand strong in the 4-man unit that is hanging around Baron, moving towards their mid lane tower, then things are okay for them in the side lane situation. However, Unicorns of Love, they've got priority over this mid lane. They've got priority over the objective if they want to go for it. But as we've said so many times, doing blind Barons is such a risk in this game.
Thank you for calling me out and repeating the same thing several times. Thank you, Raptor. Love you.
What? No!
Okay, then never mind. You know, I'm not gonna hate you for this. Or maybe I will do. But since we have to cast more games together, this one isn't even over, why don't we talk a little bit more about what RIX situation is right now, because they're really paired up when it comes to gold, paired up when it comes to towers. The objectives have gone mostly in the hands of RIX, but I kind of feel like Unicorns of Love has been leading the game in sort of way. Like, I feel like they've been leading the pressure onto RIX. They have the team fights upper hand. And of course, versus Leon's Camille, they've got this amazing Q Nasus who can easily contest it. So again, we're entering sort of a time loop in which these teams have to keep on fighting each other. They are gonna keep on trying and split push, but that's not gonna be so easy because they know what the other is gonna do. So it's all a matter of who is gonna take the next team fight, the next kill, and that may be able, allowing them to snowball finally. And look at it, it is starting already.
Oh, the fight's coming on through. Cole's not going to get knocked up. There's the Senna ultimate coming on through. Schneeland can't find the flank this time around. And he's just going to run away from this one. RIX do have 4 members of the fight. Camille is moving on through, but the Dragon is the target. This one is a big objective to take if either team can secure it. Nice stun coming on to Clue on the Brom. Coldstar backing away. Half health even with the Dominus rolling as Zaku has also burnt his ult in kind. RIX, though, they're not full health either. Leon has arrived, making this one a fair 5v5. The health bars certainly favor RIX right now. Both teams trying to get towards this Dragon. It's going to be RIX trying to keep it alive as Leon can't find the re-engage poke coming through from the Ezreal. But now the Camille might have gone a little bit too far. Corgi's not here. Snitch has given up on this fight, wants to move towards the mid lane and try and get a different kind of objective and should be able to pick it up because the Unicorns of Love are still yet to respond. Corgi not going to overstay his welcome as he sees the blue team moving, backs away with the turret.
Yeah, you're kind of forcing them to go there, try to defend. They've been really focusing on towers. I guess RIX taking one of theirs is also affecting them in sort of way. I mean, this is definitely leaving them out of the run for the Infernal Dragon here. Still, there are plenty of objectives to take. They haven't been doing badly at all. Again, this game is really even for both of its teams in every single term and concept. And Leon, once again, I know I talked a lot about him, but look at him because he's in mid lane. He's struggling a little bit there, losing life. Probably gonna die shortly.
Ooh,
but
the knockup. They're gonna be able to catch out Coldstar. He takes a decent chunk, but the Dominus rolls. He gets stunned up. Will he survive? Yes, he will. For now, it's Phaeton knocks the rest of RIX away. Leon, too low for the re-engage, takes a beating on the way out, but does manage to survive. Decent stun coming through from the concussive blows and friends. Cute, but gonna be forced to back away once again. No objectives taken. No one goes down.
Now this is just fighting for fighting, trying to get the other to lose at least one member of the entire team to be able to win those. And this applies to both of them because no one is dying anymore. Now, where is the weight of both teams? You can see it here in the scoreboard. In the case of Unicorns of Love, the weight of the team fights has been on main lane basically. And for RIX on Doom, surprisingly, the jungler is carrying the weight of the team here. Listen, one kick can win a team fight, one bad kick can lose it. Let's see if that's the case.
Oh, the stones are snitched and the flash ball from Coldstar. They really want to get onto the Corgi, but he's able to back away. Now Unicorns of Love know that resources have been blown and moving back towards the objective. They want the inside track over the Dragon, but this fight could kick off in earnest if Leon wants to pull the trigger. Won't do so this time around, but the team from Group B, the team from CIS, Looking towards the Dragon. They've got control over the river entrance, and RIX are going to have to break this one if they want to get the objective, but they're moving up towards another flank. They're looking towards a different objective. They have the opportunity to try and get control over the Baron area, but again, we know they can't take it in. The bot lane minions helping RIX out plenty by securing them another tower and an inroad towards the inhibitor towers. And you can hear the package has been picked up. Corki is en route. Are they going to pull the trigger on this one? It's been a long one in the making. Zaku goes low. They try to get the engage on him. They can't get the kill just yet. The ultimatum has come down, locking people in place. They're fighting in a choke, but there's so much help on the side of Unicorns on Love. It's really hard to take them down, but Doom goes in, can't find the assassination, and is forced to back away. Super minions are being spawned in that bot lane as the minions, they do even more work and take an inhibitor turret.
The UOL team having Nasus and Senna on the team will give you more stacks and more.
Oh, are they going to go in? They're looking for the steal. Can they find it? Cold Stars in the mix. The Dragon going lower and lower and lower. Can they get it? It's going to be secured, and it's going to be Doom getting it. GrizzlyQ over the wall, but the fight is going to kick off in earnest. Zaku trying to get away. Will he be able to do so? No, he won't. As stealing forced back. He flashed over the wall, but Friend follows him through as GrizzlyQ is going to be forced to back away. But Senna's not the objective. The Nexus is the one, and RIX GG are going to take the first win of this series. GrizzlyQ not going to be alive to see it as Friend picks that one up, and it's 1-0 from the first seed coming into the tournament.
I think someone is going to have a heart attack here, and it's not me.
Absolutely insane scenes in that game. Tentative, close, and this is what we wanted to see from this series. We wanted to see the two teams coming into it. You can hear what it means to them, and for the first time maybe this weekend, Unicorn silence.
I mean, that's the way to silence them, though, isn't it? You looked at the first game's draft. For me, I was watching in the back room, and I was looking at the heroes come in, or the champion.
RIX, unexpected for me, not unexpected for you, though.
No, true.
Before it happened. But let's see what happens in the second game, shall we?
I mean, it was super close. It has to be said. Fiora are going to be banned away to start this one out, just like last time. Ziggs goes the same way, not too surprising. But the last game could have gone either way very, very easily. It was all on a knife's edge. It was all on a smite, essentially. But Snitch, this time around, going to have to go off the Corki because he had a much better game today than we really saw from him yesterday.
I mean, I told you, I thought the spotlight, oh my god, had been finally put on him. Once again, Ray can also be banned. I really would like to see him being played by GrizzlyQ, but it's not going to be the case because he's not going to be in the Rift as well as Israel. He did so much damage in the last game that it makes complete sense for them to ban him.
Fred had a very good one. Caught out a couple of times, even on the Ezreal, where it's quite hard to do so because you're quite mobile. Yeah. But in the late game team fights, the damage showed it was definitely worthwhile. Gragas taken off the table as well. We'll have to see if Unicorns Love want to go the Senna route, but no, they're going to steal away the Camille. 2 bans against RIX, and then they're stealing one of their picks as well. Noticing as well, it says here on the screen that Unicorns Love have the win in the first game. Not the case. No. It's RIX who have the win.
I mean, maybe it's the number of losses. Like, you've lost the game.
That would be a very morbid way of counting it. But, you know, the Camille going to be locked in. That's really, really interesting coming through. Yeah. They want to try and get that split push for themselves, take it away from Leon, which of course is going to be useful. And there you go. Look, RIX have now been given the win.
Oh, okay. This is kind of disappointing, but okay, we'll go with it. Now, one thing that I want to talk about is how Cold Star has been heavily oversight throughout this entire tournament. Like, okay, he doesn't really play tanks. I mean, he does play tanks, sorry, but he doesn't really play split pushers or like game definer champions. And here you have him on a Camille. On the other hand, RIX are gonna be like, okay, you pick Camille, pick Senna this time, and also give us Galio.
Yes, exactly. And the Galio could go to bot lane with the Senna, could go mid lane, could go into a lot of different positions. It's gonna be interesting to see. Basically to the Seraphine. We're going to have to see where this one goes. Could go mid, could go bot lane as a support, could go bot lane as a dragon carry, potentially. We'll have to see what's going to be paired up with it. We've seen the Sona. Wukong has been locked in for RIX. They want to be taking that team fighting potential, and their team right now is completely built for it.
It is amazing. I really love this competition coming from RIX right now. Matt, Unicorns of Love, just Irelia being brought up on the roof. I think this is a bit that we haven't really seen lately, at least for Europe. And then she's been brought again. Lots of potential right there, especially in teamfights. Let's see if that works out the way they intended to. But at the moment, lots of damage coming from Unicorns of Love.
Okay, we got the Aurelia locked in. That's not the thing that surprised me. Garen will be joining us on the Rift for this one, alongside the Lucian. So, Lucian, Seraphine, bot lane, you've got to imagine. Camille potentially going into the jungle.
Could be, and wouldn't be a weird option for them. I mean, haven't they played like 1,000 things already from the side of Unicorns of Love on the jungle every time innovating? But you seem to want to say something about Fern.
Yeah, Pantheon just been locked in for RIX over there. They've already got themselves a Kha'Zix as well. So the Pantheon most likely going to be going... Could be top, it could be mid. Pantheon Senna? Potentially?
Could be.
We'll have to see what they decide to lock in as we move on to the Rift for our second game of the day. Keep your eyes peeled. It's going to be Wukong down in the bot lane alongside the Senna as Blue is piloting that one. Leon on the Pantheon is also super interesting. And it's Aurelia going into the jungle. Seraphine Garen. And we're going to see a fight immediately kicking off. But it's okay. Carmen, don't worry. No one goes down this time around. But these two team compositions are... There's stuff going on.
There is stuff going on. RIX is kind of aggressive trying to pick a kill there and narrowly killed the first one of the game. Not really happening because, you know, we are just in the first minute, not even the first minute, so plenty of time to do that. Just retreating a little bit. This is a little bit of like, okay, I'm going home, I'm going to my lane. Can I pick a kill here? Yes? No? Doesn't matter. I'll move on. Now, looking at both teams' strategies, we've got on one hand Unicorns of Love with quite a good composition, but I'm a little bit lost, not lost really, but curious about the Garen pick here for Saki. He's already been aggressive, but I mean, having a Seraphine by his side gives him mobility, of course, but I don't know if that will work that well versus the Wukong and Friend bot lane. Well, it only works, we've just seen it.
Well, I mean, Garen into Wukong's not bad. In the top side as well, we've got this Pantheon going on and through. So it's an interesting adaptation. You've seen the Senna, you've seen the Wukong alongside it, which again is not that surprising. Wukong does work well in this situation. And you think, hey, why don't we just go for a bruiser down here as well? That could be a good time for everyone involved. But I'm a little bit concerned for Leon on this top side, honestly. He's gone for the Pantheon, which is a pick that we see not all that much of, because if he doesn't get scaling, if he doesn't get going, he becomes a little bit of a stun bot, which is not necessarily what you want from one of your marquee players. But that being said, they do always play through they do like to play through Leon, and Coldstar is going to have to be careful. Camille is quite a safe pickup though, so definitely one way he can stay safe. In the bot side though, Zaku goes pretty low, but Doom forced to jump away as Friend not really in a position to help.
Oh, Friend, be careful.
Ooh, Friend might be in a position to die though, needs to be super careful, gets the root down, but Phaeton is the first responder on the scene, and no kills this time.
No kills already. Unicorns of Love presenting themselves as a risk for RIX right now with his almost killed on Friend. Him being very low life, having had to spend his heal already. So Unicorns of Love in a really good position right there. Zaku and Grizzly doing exactly what they intended to do, both buying boots right now to get a little bit of that boost in mobility, particularly with the bump ones that Zaku has acquired right now. And Phaeton only really a pick that I didn't really expect, but I think it's also working out quite well. What can they do? Okay, they're paired up, they're really even when it comes to gold, but they are gonna go for the aggressive one.
Yeah, Clue's fine. He creates it. He's just going to dash out of that one. No worries at all in that situation.
And what about this situation between Leon and Coldstar? You kind of asked the question, right? Leon on a Pantheon, what can he do? Is he going to be as powerful as in all the games? He hasn't really been given that role of a carry so much in this one. But then again, look at the global ultimate. That's going to be really useful in teamfights, unlike the last game. So we're going to see what happens. Coldstar right now, kind of feeling like Leon did in the last game, playing a Camille. Okay, good duelist, good Baron laner, but what about the teamfights? What's going to happen there? The Hectic ultimate, we're going to have to open those. But okay, Warriors in the line phase, we can allow ourselves to think about the strategy later on. For now, let's focus on the objective, spawning quite shortly.
Oh, Leon's coming on through. He wants to get on the steal and will be able to get the stun down. The center ultimate coming on through to keep the team alive. And Phaeton can only stand and watch as first blood given over to RIX GG. Unicorns moving members up.
This.
But are they going to look for the play? They get the slow, they get the root, but there's no follow-up damage over the wall. So RIX get away with it.
really interesting in this one how Grizzly King Seraphine, I have to say, I really like how he's playing right now. It really helped him go and being able to not think about his team position, honestly. I like it.
Phaeton, though, has to flash away. Doom is there, but so is Cold Star. And it's just going to be the objective started up this time around by RIX.
Nothing really happening. Like, in the end, the Herald is kind of being left alone. They've got the enemy right there. Oof.
Ooh, that was close. Leon's going to come through. Really nice stunner down onto the target. The kill onto Steeland is inevitable. They look to the follow-up, but they can't find Grizzly Q with more than just a chunk of damage. And RIX again win the fight. ZaQ in the mid lane forcing onto Leon. He's going to be able to back away.
Backing away, but not that lone life, so he could technically return to the fight. Look at this.
ZaQ moving forward, gets the silence, gets the damage, gets the kill onto Snitch. As Clue might look for the re-engage, though, has the Cyclone, going to get the damage down, going to get the knock-up. The ultimate has been used onto Doom, keeping him in place, and the fight is going to keep continuing around the Rift. Herald, who wants to get involved, but the kill going over to Leon. Now they force forward. Can Doom get the assassination on the console? No, he can't. He stays alive as Unicorns of Love chase RIX away from the objective. Leon's going to be cut down by Phaeton on the back end as well. Disaster for RIX as UOL, they take everything.
Phaeton taking kill after kill, becoming a really powerful, really in this game that you don't really want to face right now, which is the reality that Grizzly is having to see in front of their eyes as it unfolds. Leon being a little bit focused in there, but once again, he's a Pantheon, isn't that as important and in all that time that he's played, isn't it? French Shino!
There's just half health Kha'Zix on the map. That's all there is to it, really.
Just one leap and you are killed.
Yeah,
you're dead.
Taste of fear.
Taste of
dead.
and indeed, that's what just happened here. What? The dragon is still down the rift. RIX is gonna try and take it now that Unicorns of Love was, down one member who's just been respawning. Let's see what they can try to do to contest it. Going to the
Snitch gets the double taunt, the damage coming through. Leon's looking for a target, can't find a good one until he finds Grizzly Q as the damage is big. That's the big. Can they get enough? But the color's breaking up the fight. As Unicorns Love needs to be careful, but the health bar so low. Snipe down from Friend, who's looking towards Phaeton. A couple more odd attacks will be enough. We'll be able to get it. Doom's still alive. I have no idea how. The healing is massive. Steeland gets the kill in the end, but Friend, Senna versus Lucian. It's a lover's quarrel, but this time around, Senna gets the kill. Senna gets the rampage. And it's huge for RIX.
None of these teams wants to give it up just now. 6 minutes in, have just started Mosey mid-game for us here in Wild Rift. And yet, look at them fighting again and again, trying to get those little leads so they can, whatever they can. Snitch taking more of a supportive role. Here we got the replay, you can see there how the rest of the team was arriving for RIX G, trying to get onto them. The Seraphine right there being killed in the very beginning, being rooted once again for Garen. So the Unicorns of Love just having to retreat, just taking the team fight, but not just now. Kha'Zix, so in this case, we were talking about him being on the Rift and winning, and then look at him.
I mean, the thing that gets me there is the fact that Doom was able to be kept alive a second longer with the heal means that there was like half the health bar of Lucian was removed by the last taste of fear coming through from Doom, which is what allowed Friend to clean up that fight. Yeah, whoever got the last kill in that one probably doesn't matter that much, but it's those inches that RIX GG are currently winning by. Phaeton dives on through, gets the stun, but Doom is there. Look at the health bar on Aurelia. Nice one from Seraphine, but the railgun comes through. Phaeton is the first target, and now they're diving towards Grizzly Q. He's going to be able to get out. Nice taunt, nice ultimatum, though, as this fight is kicking off. The Cyclone gets a knock-up on a 2-2. But RIX are going to be able to back away. They get the pick, and they get away.
Just enough. I mean, I'm glad they didn't keep on pushing, which is what all teams would have done. In this case, they were cautious enough to just back away. But careful there, because of course there is arriving with Camille. Ultimate not up, that should be mentioned. You have to deal with him just being used in the last team fight. So now, next move here. Just apparently leaving the waves to just throw the tower down top bot lane for you. Focusing a little bit on the top lane, which is what Unicorns of Love seems to be hitting both with Camille and Lucian, trying to get a kill onto Leon finally, and onto Doom, who has become quite strong lately.
Ooh, Friend needs to be careful. He might have overextended for the poke. Snitch in the wings, Clue in the wings, and they might be looking for the re-engage. A nice little bit of damage from the center on the way out, but nothing gonna happen this time around.
The ultimate's been recovered right here and then. Snitch is still having quite a little bit of time until his is up, but no big deal because, you know, at this time, well, just retreating, just waiting to fight a little bit. Just push the waves, try to get something out of it. Zach Q gonna find himself alone.
Leon needs to be a little careful. He's half health, but Doom's in support. And Zach Q, pretty tanky, not going to be too bothered.
It's a Garen. It's his role to be tanky, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Kinda. So, in any case, he's gonna stay here farming, no big deal. Now, Rift Herald there in the mid lane. Good opportunity to be taken by Unicorns of Love. But the question is, will they be able to hit the tower and throw it finally? Because RIX is right there trying to stop this from happening. So it seems like Herald is just gonna try and hit the tower if he can.
Oh, Leon looking for the engagement. He's gone very, very deep. Going to be charmed up. Once again, the Radiant Dawn coming through as the damage is there. Leon gets away and actually gets the first kill of the fight onto the Aurelia. Cold Star going to be forced to back away. Zach Q still tanky, but that's a huge taunt coming through from Stitch as the fight is reignited. Cold Star goes low. Clue is in the mix. Still needs to be careful, but the heroic entrance will get the knock up onto Garen. He's going to be able to get away with Sneeland. And in the end, again, it's just a 1-0 for RIX.
Really good choice here. Once a Snitch had Hero's Entrance, he was able to finally join the team fight, to finally take part in this and do the damage that he had to, leaving them with the chance to take this dragon away. More objectives piling up for them. But now, Unicorns of Love, quite a few choices in there. They really have two split pushers, technically Ariel and Camellia, I was going to call her, and Camellia can do this, but I think they're playing mostly to RIX's rhythm, trying to be very careful around them, trying to pick up fights whenever they can, if they feel safe to do so. And this kind of worries me because I feel like Unicorns of Love is a team with such personality that just leaving themselves to be guided through the game by the enemies doesn't really work for them. So I'm expecting them to just, you know, get their batteries on, as we say in Spain, and just try to get the game in their hands and controlled by themselves. Now in the mid lane, some champions in there trying to, you know, look at each other in the eyes. Let's see if that happens.
Yeah, Battleline's being drawn in the mid lane once again. I've loved the initiative that Leon has been taking on this Pantheon. He's able to get a decent amount of distance if he's got Flash, if he's got the Proto Belt up, and then he can dive on through with the stun. And that's been what's been starting the fights for RIX this entire game. Have to mention Friend as well, though. Been having a stellar performance on the Senna, is able to be getting those stacks coming through, and they haven't really lost out too much, because if you look at the Garen as kind of the carry in the situation, Friend has more gold, but so does Clue.
Yeah, they are quite tied up, which is something that I like. It shows that the vital of the resources has been quite good. Now, what can they do with it, right? Like, buying items, of course, is one of them, but also getting some kills here on the way, getting ahead in itemization in comparison to Unicorns of Love. Look at Costa already identify what the potential threats can be, trying to focus on the top lane with his next objective for RIX. Here is a matter of time, you know, until they end up having to face each other once again. In this one, they are not being shy. They are trying to fight as much as they can. Teamfights are not a problem for either of them. But we have to consider, once again, the lack of tankiness coming from Unicorns of Love in particular. Okay, they have Garen, but besides that, okay, they do have mobility, but they didn't really have a really strong front line. They have to rely on Camille's ultimate to be able to start those fights and engage as well on Grizzly's Q's Seraphine. So we're going to see how far this takes them into this game, but I don't think it is going to last for much longer. Said Carmen before the game went on to 30 minutes.
Yeah, before Carmen casted the longest game in Wild Rift history. It's a brave statement. I don't know if you want to have jinxed it that much, but long games are always super entertaining and super intense, because at this stage, okay, it's maybe a little bit early to start making these assumptions, but big team fights could spell the end of the game for either team in terms of the tempo. Yes, there's enough tower standing for both sides. They're not going to be able to push through and destroy the Nexus, but sometimes a game can be finished before the Nexus explodes. So, keep your eyes peeled on where the next battle line will be. We've got Baron buff on the map. RIX GG do not have a slow Baron, but we know that they have to take picks if they want to be securing it. On the other hand, though, Unicorns of Love, they've got some decent champions right now at decent spikes, so they could look to take the play as well.
The Baron is up there, as you said, but even though they've got a little bit of vision right there, they don't really seem to be going for it. Perhaps Costa, the one roaming around, just trying to check that RIX is not trying to take it once again, but RIX, Unicorns of Love is focusing more on the mid lane, throwing that first tower than really on taking the Rift Herald. The Baron. So let's see what happens there. But the Inferno Dragon is going to be spawning 15 seconds, so they have got 2 objectives that they could fight for.
Yeah, both of these objectives are super impactful, and both of these teams will want both of these ones. The ultimatum used onto Snitch this time around. Leon puts up the wall, and the damage coming through is massive from Rich. Cold starts to focus, and he's going to be forced out of the fight entirely. Phaeton has to go golden, but I don't know if he'll survive too much longer. The ultimate coming in from Galio means Zacu falls as well. Doom looking to clean up the fight, can't find another kill though. But it's 2 kills going over to RIX, and now they get their choice of objectives, and it looks like Baron is their selection.
Once again, we know RIX once they start getting that lead, and look at Snitch, by the way, on that.
He's the bouncer, but he might be looking for a flag. Really nice taunt onto 2, and Leon's ultimate's going to come through to help clean up the situation. They get the turn perfectly, they get the ace perfectly, and now they're going to move back towards the objective.
The objective being the Baron right there. No contestant. No answer for Unicorns of Love right there. They don't really have the effectives to do anything. Everyone is dead. So just decimated by RIX, getting the Baron, getting the buff for the minions, going for the top lane tower already, moving towards there. And the power is in their hands. And perhaps the only minion wave that isn't really there are the other 2 ones. Let's watch the replay though. We can see right here how they get taunted. The ultimate arrives, getting double kill obviously before Pantheon. They retire right at the time. They don't really need to do anything else because everyone else is dead.
It was Snitch played that one perfectly on the Galio. It wasn't about making sure that they didn't get towards the Baron. It was tempting them into that choke so that he could get the taunt, knowing his team was able to turn with the Pantheon ultimate and with Doom being so quick off the mark. And then the cleanup allowed them to get the kill. They're going to be able to get the Dragon as well as Cold Star. He's alive for a second longer. He's going to be able to actually get out of that one without too much issue. But the objectives are all going the way of RIX right now. Clue going in. Really nice cycle, and the heroic entrance is going to get a nice knock-up onto Zacu as well. Phaeton in the backline could be the first victim. He will be, as the damage coming on through. Grizzly Q cut down by the Kha'Zix, who's going to be able to help get another assassination onto Seraphine this time around. As Cold Star also goes down. This could be the game for RIX GG. And if it is, it's 2-0 in this best of 5.
2-0. How do you come out from that? Well, in last series, we saw them kind of trying to do it, but can Unicorns of Love do it? I've got faith in them. I know they can.
Woo, that is the game going over to RIX, and 2-0. We've seen this one before. It could still go to 5, as you said, but honestly, that one much more intense, much more initiative from RIX, and a much more obvious, better team in this one.
Yeah.
So hear me out. I came back onto this desk, and I'm just thinking a lot about onions right now. Onions. Do you know what onions have?
Are you hungry?
No, I'm not hungry. Onions have layers.
Yes.
And do you know what was layered beautifully that entire game by RIX? The CC they had available to them. 4 out of 5 members on that team have a form of hard crowd control. They managed to perfectly layer that onto any target.
We had a 2-0 in the earlier semi-final. That one went to 5. How can Unicorns of Love make this one go the distance as well?
Okay, so I couldn't explain before because Street was just trying to get answers out of me, and I didn't have the time to explain myself.
Getting answers out of you?
Yeah,
How dare he? How dare he do his job like that?
I talk about not the only Unicorn plushie that they've got, which is Liquid, but also Unicorns of Love, being realistic, okay, being serious, master here right there on desk. Okay, so what do they have in your hands? Cold Start, honestly, I think he needs to start being a little more comfortable in the picks that he's got. I feel like he hasn't really been feeling his best. Phaeton has been doing a great job, but then again, if he's not accompanied by the rest of his team, then what can we expect from Unicorns of Love? I feel like Zacu, Grizzly Q, perhaps in certain champions, okay, the sound was good. Was it good enough though?
Well,
good enough. I'm gonna answer. No, it wasn't. It was more of a question to myself, you know?
Ask a question, then answer it yourself, whatever. I don't need setups, it's fine. But we've let a lot of bounds go through, and the picks as well. Camille's going to be locked in immediately for Unicorns of Love. Cold Star most likely on that one. Could be jungle, but Fiora, Senna, Seraphine, Ziggs, Rakan, Gragas, and he's the Crocodile, and he's back.
Not for Nectar, not once again, please. No, at least not top lane. Can we innovate a little bit? Just bring him mid lane, for example, between that championships, like.
We don't want to mid because we got Stitch Galio if this Galio goes into his hands.
Oh,
So, I mean, it worked for them last time. Lulu locked in. Are you a little bit more happy with this pick at least?
I mean, Pix is nice. Yes, I can approve it.
Okay, Olaf. Actually, this is a great combination. Mid-game, he's not going to be CC'd. Picks on top of him. He's going to be sped up and he's going to be huge. And the true damage coming out as well.
Like, literally speaking, he's going to be huge.
Actually, he's going to be massive. It's
and World Growth is also there to help him out if he needs it. So, I mean, many assets being delivered right there. But RIX is used Kha'Zix.
Yes.
What a powerful champion in the hands of this team. They have been performing amazingly on it, especially, I mean, Doom has been the one playing it actually.
Yes.
And Corki is a little bit running up the composition, not that sold on this one though.
It could go into the hands of Snitch with Gallia going support, or it could be going down into the bot lane. Friend could be picking this one up. We'll get Arsus with the final pick, but Kai'Sa being locked in. Something that I'm surprised we haven't seen more of, and the Ari coming through to the mid lane as well. I'm really excited to see what Unicorns of Love can do here. They've gone for a couple of pickups. Hello.
Hello.
Why are you screaming at me?
Look at the pics, Unicorns of Love.
I know. Is the Ezreal round out, by the way?
Yeah, but look at our Kai'Sa. Why are you not excited?
Well, it's the kind of thing where we expected to see these champions coming through when we were going into this tournament. We haven't seen them that much. So it is Unicorns of Love going for strong pickups that are a little bit not unexpected because they're good champ. I don't know why you want me to be oh, they picked Kai'Sa and Ari. Wow. I don't know what you want.
People be a little bit more excited here. Ari was expected for RIX from Team Kezo, but was he really expected from like anyone else? Yes, because she's real powerful right now. But still, I'm happy to see her.
Well, we're going to see her on the Rift in a couple of seconds as well as we move straight onto it for the third game of this series. Could be final game of this series if we see a win coming through from RIX. Unicorns of Love going to need to go for the reverse sweep if they want to find their way into the final face Team Queso tomorrow in the best of 7. Some power on the table. It's going to be Camille in the jungle with Coldstar taking Olaf top, which is going to be very interesting into Leon's Renekton, which we know that he loves to play. I'm excited for this one, honestly. I'm
excited as well, looking at the itemization. Loads of BF swords going on for both teams. And finally, looking at the compositions for both of these teams. Leon on the Renekton, good split pusher, good tank. I like what he's doing. And now, on the other hand, Corsa on your left. Olaf is a pick that I'm not really sold on that much. I mean, I still liked how rounded the composition for Unicorns of Love was in this case. Olaf is a little bit of a coin flipper. Like if he is falls behind, then he's down, and like all the champs who can scale with time. But I mean, it just depends a lot on how the team is doing, and if they are gonna rely on Corstars to match, who is usually playing tanks, then we might have a problem there going for the Unicorns.
Are you not convinced by Unicorns of Love mid-game though? They've got Kai'Sa, they've got Olaf. I'm excited to see what Camille can do in the jungle, but on the other side, RIX, of course. Doom on the Kha'Zix is terrifying. As you said, the Renekton, Leon, always going to be strong on this strong pick. And Snitch is back on the Corki. He played this one so well in the first game, it was banned in the second.
Yeah, but then in this one, he wasn't.
Oh, Charm lands and a lot going on to Unicorns of Love. They're going to be able to pick off Clue for first blood. And the exhaust will mean that Corki has to get away. But we'll be able to do so with the Valkyrie. It's only one kill going over, but it is a first blood from the team that needs the win.
Exactly, and that's why we appreciate it and thank Unicorns of Love for potentially giving us a Game 4 series. But
that's an early statement with just first blood.
Okay, I always make early statements because someone has to believe in them, okay? Just leave me be positive for once. My gosh. Oh!
Ooh, flash from Snitch. That's going to be a big resource burnt actually on the Corki in the mid lane.
Yes, it is. But well, no. He can just get away with it easily. No more kills for Unicorns of Love just now, 2 minutes in. For Wild Rift, that is quite a lot. It will be like the early game, but a little bit of time still to go. However, 4 minutes in, we're going to have the Herald, we're going to have the Dragon. The Dragon, not an Inferno, so supposedly RIX shouldn't be prioritizing it. But we never know, because in the last game we did see them going for it. So good strategy right there. Now, looking at Unicorns of Love, I'm not gonna say how they can come back because they haven't lead in this game, so just, some laning right there, some typical lane for Wild Rift games.
It's been a bit of an impactful start, a bit explosive coming on through. But only with that first blood, really. We've got a minute until we get the big old objective coming on down, which will be both of the objectives, as you said. The Dragon probably not the highest priority, as it's not the Infernal, as you mentioned. So we'll have to see who wants to fight over the Rift Herald. Or, of course, it could just be a case of one of these teams deciding that fighting isn't in their best interest. However, I'm excited to see what RIX can do in the next engagement, because they got caught out a little bit early, but they've got really strong early champs. They've got stuff like the Kha'Zix, like the Renekton that can do work, and we're going to see the first real fight with ultimates available, and look at the impact that those can have.
A level 5 ultimates going up right now, as you said. Look at Jim trying to pick up a little bit of a kill in there, but not going to be able to make it. It's a Camille after all. She can do that just easily. She can escape without further issue. But now the objectives spawning in 10 seconds. What team is going to take them home? What team is going to take them to their scoreboard? We're going to see it. But for now, Rift Herald seems to be the one that they are focusing on.
Which is what you said. It's what you expected to happen in this one, and it's going to be Unicorns of Love who have priority over the river around that objective right now. But RIX do have opportunities, and they've got champions moving into that direction. But it looks like they've actually started up the Dragon again, something you mentioned they might do. And if the Rift Herald isn't taken immediately, it could just be a free objective.
It could be. And look at Unicorns of Love kind of rotating towards that, while RIX are thinking of what something that they did before, actually. You know, if they want to take the Herald, let them, because we're going to take the first tower with this wave that we've got in here. So not a bad strategy at all. We got the Dragon, we got the first tower. In the meantime, let Unicorns of Love try to focus on that other one, or in the top lane. So it's a battle for who gets the first tower here.
Yeah, and it looks like Unicorns of Love will have the advantage on this one. They've got a decent wave, and all 4 members moved up there immediately. But, it does go over to Unicorns of Love in the end, but it was much closer than I thought it would be. But the Dragon is the advantage going over to RIX. Rift Herald now going to be started up by Unicorns of Love. But RIX GG not stopping at the outer. They're moving towards this inner tower. Want to get 2 for 1, and will lose out on the Rift Herald happily to do so. Ultimate coming through, won't get the steal. But 2 towers and a Dragon for a Rift Herald and 1. I'd say that's worth.
Okay, RIX is supposed to play for a little bit more, like for 10 minutes or so. But, you know, Unicorns of Love with Herald, okay, give those towers back. They're going to lose another one right here. Let the team fight start shortly, because they surely need to get some kills in here.
I mean, the Rift Herald only gets a chunk down, it gets the charge and not much else. So the investment wasn't really good for Unicorns of Love on this occasion. And nice little advantage gained by the red side. RIX, of course, go through if they win this game to that final tomorrow. They're looking good for it at the moment. That being said, Unicorns of Love, they're not out of this one quite yet, and I want to see how they do in the first real team fight, because we haven't really had anything except a couple of trades.
Yeah, true. I mean, and even in those couple of trades, we've only really seen 1 kill. And 2 towers, okay, but those have what happened on across the rift. So I'm really hoping to see finally some action, as I said, because it is determining for like a game like this. We know RIX likes to open a lane and just run with it, as they are doing with the bot lane. But we also know that Unicorns of Love do have more of a round team style, like they prefer to go for team fights. So we're going to be seeing if they truly do that. They like to force team fights. They like to get those through engages. They've got plenty of engages there with a charm by Ari, played by Snail Lane. They got the Ludo with the Wild Growth if they want to chase Kai'Sa. So plenty of champions can allow you to do that, including Olaf's with Ragnarok. Once you were saying before, once he gets big, he just is unstoppable. For now, let's watch this mid lane, because once again, we want to see them fight. We've seen a little bit of rotation here. The Dragon laners have decided to move here to get the waves going, so to avoid the other team from getting that. At least that's something. And look at them trying to catch on to Snitch right now, which they're not going to do, but they might get the tower.
Yeah, they might be able to get the tower, forcing Stitch away, but in the top side, Leon on Doom might be trying to do the same to Sneeland. The tower will crumble. Unicorns of Love evening that one up for a second. But RIX, they've got the advantage in the top side. They've got the advantage in the mid lane as well. They're looking for another 2-for-1 offer.
They definitely want to do this. Like in this case, if RIX's convenience, it would be better to just be doing this. In Unicorns of Love convenience, it would be better to be facing each other directly, just because once again the teamfight composition that they've got in their hands, like they've got plenty of champions that can allow them to do that. But always fighting from afar, preferably. In their case, of course. Let's see if that's what happens for now. Just, you know, looking at each other in the eyes, measuring each other, but not really going for it because it's not convenient to any of them, really. Like, if you can avoid dying and you can instead defend your towers, that might be better than just having to go into team fights that you might lose. But, you know, I think RIX is having a little of a different situation here. I think it's one of the first times that they're facing this kind of thing where they instead of being so aggressive, they are trying to take their time and just go for objectives directly instead of, you know, fighting. If I'm going towards the dragon lane here, towards the zone in the river, a mountain one, which will be really benefiting them when it comes to armor. Let's see if that's what happens.
Well, if they can take it, 5 members of Unicorns of Love barreling down the river, want to take control of the situation. As you said, RIX haven't been pulling the trigger as much as they usually do. They've just been making the smart trades, which is never a bad thing, obviously. But it's a little bit of a different side to them. That's a lot of poke coming down from a friend on the Ezreal as the dragon is started up by Doom. I can't see any real contest coming through from the Unicorns of Love. Coldstar is thinking about it, but he's going to Ragnarok and roll towards the enemy team. The objective is secured, but they might be able to get onto Stitch. He's going to be grounded and taken into the ultimate enemy. He has to go gone to stay alive. Blue needs to be careful, but he goes up, goes down, doesn't hit any knockups, but keeps members alive. The first kill of the fight goes over to Doom. As you can see, Stitch getting into the backline. Coldstar goes down. Grizzly Q can't save him. Can he save himself? Yes, he can, but it's a double for the Kha'Zix. As RIX take 3, they take the tower, the dragon as well. They're taking everything they can.
Amazing play by RIX. I hope we get to see a replay of that one. In the meantime, we're just gonna go for the blue buff here in the enemy jungle. The Baron is spawning in fairly short time, 10 seconds. There goes the replay. So we can see here how both teams have divided the efforts. Olaf going in first. Friend just trying to hit from behind because he's in Ezreal. He doesn't really want to get in the middle of the team fight. And that's when things start looking grimy for Unicorns of Love. Being cornered under the tower, and even then, they don't really mind it. I mean, this player, Dim, is able to just play Kha'Zix and sacrifice himself, and including this situation might be one of those, just to protect the mid lane tower.
Fred isn't here yet, though, and neither is Snitch. The Unicorns of Love could have pulled the trigger a little bit more than they did, but now they're looking to get the charm. Can't land it onto Clue, who's looking for the taunt. Will be able to do so, but Kha'Zix is dead. The ultimatum lands, but it's under tower. Needs to be careful. Snitch putting down a decent amount onto the Olaf, but he's able to run away. It's a pick for Unicorns of Love, but they can't get much off the back of it.
Once again, I think Renekton and Braum in this case are quite buff right now. Quite tanky, so they can survive easily.
The fight is re-engaged. They get a charm on the Snitch. He's going to explode in mid-air as Leon needs to back away. It's a 3v5. Clue, Friend, and Leon standing against the Unicorns of Love combined might. The charm won't land onto the Ezreal this time around. And it looks like they're going to be able to stand under the tower, but Unicorns of Love will be able to take down the bricks. They're going to get a lot of damage down. Can Clue get a good taunt? Yes, he can. Onto just the Kai'Sa, but the Kai'Sa's the target. Phazon goes low, but walks away. Will fall eventually as Zach Q is out of there. RIX GG continue to chase. So Doom goes low. Will have to dive into the blue buff, but might go down to it. Will be able to get away. Clue does the same on what must have been single-digit health. Oh, that was a close fight, but fewer people died than we expected.
This is when I regret Coldstar and Snail Lane not having Ignite with them, because that will have been the perfect time to do so. But in any case, a really good team fight coming up from both teams, particularly from Unicorns of Love. RIX is, I think, experts in turning team fights around. It seems like they're going to lose, and then they don't. So really good strategy from them. Now, next to stop, the Baron alive right there on the Rift. Will they take it? Will they not take it? Unicorns of Love is a little bit far away, but have noticed their intentions, know what they want to do, even though their vision here is not quite good. Let's look at their replay here. The turret was falling dry then. Leon had to hide behind the bush, and now you have a Snail Lane completely full of life, trying to get rid of the remaining enemies who are going to get away quite easily.
Yeah, it was very touch and go for a couple of them, but they did manage to get away in the end, as you mentioned. But Rick's still in a pretty decent spot. They've got an extra tower down. Grizzly Q gonna be chunked on the Lulu, forced to back away. But Snitch isn't there, Leon's not there, so there's no real follow-up to the situation. They have to decide where they want their next target to be, where the next fight is going to take place for RIX, and if Unicorns will love decide to respond. Obviously, something like the Baron or one of the inhibitor towers is a must, but there aren't really that many obvious options for RIX. They're lying in wait in this bush. They're trying to see if they can catch anyone out, but the answer is no.
What is your vision, Unicorns? Like, I see the vision there on the stone of Baron, but what is your vision in your own jungle where they can easily attack?
What are you going to do, Doom? Who are you looking at? Who looks tasty? That Q looks a little bit tasty, but he's got Lulu on top of him. He's got Cold Star on top of him on the Olaf. It's just going to be the dragon at the end of the day. It's not fine cuisine. It's not fine dining like Kaiser is. But, hey, it's an objective.
I mean, but nothing, I guess. This is dragon. Yes, this is an objective. But for now, Unicorns Love seems to be the ones taking the lead, trying to chase a little bit here. They know they have been watched, but the thing is, they don't have vision. Once again, vision is important, you guys. Just buy words and do that, please. This is advice for everyone who's watching, including me. So, for now, looking for a team fight right there. Oh, that was lost by Snitch. Let's see if they can do
Leon
something.
dives forward. The fight's being kicked off. Olaf is big in the backline, but Leon gets the dominance down to make himself huge. The damage coming in. Zacu on the backline, though. Can he get targets? They managed to get the first kill of the fight. Leon burns down as well, but Unicorns of Love in for retreat. Doom has to go golden in order not to take a massive amount on the backside, but allows Unicorns of Love to look for the re-engage. Camille will be able to run away. Has to go golden himself. Can Snitch find his time? Can Doom find the assassination? They will be able to find the kills, and will look for a little bit more. Friend is almost full health, but gets chunked out by Sneeland. And is not going to be able to continue too much further. Snitch is there in support. They're going to ride forward. Can they get on top of the Ari? The blue buff is rolling. The damage is coming through. Cole's not moving forward, but so Snitch. The damage is there from the Corgi. Can he get a second? Yes, he can! He grabs the second, and Friend moves forward. RIX are going to go for the objectives. They go for the inhibitor tower. Could they get a little bit more?
My gosh, what did just happen? They got the waves, they got everything in their hands to win this one. Unicorns of Love being left defenseless right there. Again, they had no vision, they couldn't expect exactly what was about to happen. Look at this now, the teleport coming from Friend. The Baron is going to be theirs, Prune.
Yeah, it should be. Members of Unicorns of Love are making a beeline for it, but it's going down too quickly. They've got Kha'Zix, they've got Ezreal. There's just no world where this one isn't taken before members can contest. And it's going to be simple as that for RIX. They get the smite. Will they go for the fight? They get onto Zacu. He goes big and has to flash away, though. They turn towards members of Unicorns, but it looks like Leon's the one in trouble. Snitch also goes exceptionally low, but gets over the wall. They're looking for the chase now. Unicorns cannot let them get away. They need to get any blue buffs they can off their opponents, but the answer to how many they can get is 0. RIX GG, they get away scot-free.
Something I've noticed consistently on the team fights by Unicorns of Love is how they keep on picking on Leon and Clue, the two tankiest members of the enemy team. We're gonna see it right here. Okay, Leon takes the lead, which makes sense for him to be focused on, but then again, Clue is the second one being targeted. Snitch being able to hit just freely right there. Why? Once again, the question is why they are doing damage. Why not focus them before? Like, get rid of the damage dealers in the team. That's the basic. But Unicorns of Love right now having a little bit of a last chance to do something with this game and not lose entire series in a 3-0.
Well, it's the 3-0 that they're staring down the barrel of right now. They've got the Baron buff against them. They've got very strong members on RIX. In the top lane, the Crocodile diving on forward, but it's 2v1, needs to be careful. But there's the heroic entrance, there's the knockup. Phaeton gets caught out by the taunt, needs to be careful. He's gone golden into stasis. Unicorns Love all got away for now, but one member has been left behind. They manage to get onto Phaeton, he goes down. They're looking to put pressure wherever they can. RIX GG are keeping it on, and they're going to move towards these inhibitor towers. Which one are they going to be focusing? They've got the wave top, so that is going to be the target alongside the mid lane, which is actually going to be the first one to crumble. 16.5 minutes into this game. Can they get the engage? Can they get the fight? That would win them the game. That would win them the series. They're putting the Pope down. They've got a big minion wave, but they decide to back away.
Backing away is the wise decision in this case. Is if you are not sure that you can secure the Nexus, then why risk it,
Exactly.
That's something that many teams have tried to do. We saw Team Kessler doing that, like being like, oh yeah, I can take the Nexus. You don't have a whiff to do so. How are you going to take the Nexus if he's going to keep on hitting you? But in this case, RIX, they've been a little bit wiser in the situation, knowing that the Infernal Dragon too, is going to spawn in just 10 seconds. perfect opportunity to catch up onto Unicorns of Love, get a few kills in there, and just go for the win.
Now, the question is, where's this big team fight going to happen? It has to be around the Elder Infernal Dragon, surely. Surely this huge objective is going to be the battleground. Because if the Unicorns of Love can steal it away, or if they can manage to get it themselves, that could be their way back into this game. But losing a team fight at this point is disastrous. Minion waves crashing mid, crashing bot with supers in tow. Unicorns of Love, they're going for it. They're rushing towards this objective. They need to take it if they can. But RIX have got wind and they're going to go for the fight. Members are going pretty low though. Leon well below half health, and they're going to lose members off the back. Big knockoff. But can ZachQ do anything? He's trying to get any assassination that he possibly can. But the Corgi is the only one he's going to be able to revive in the backline. Friend gets the damage down. Unicorns of Love are routed away from the objective. Friend keeps free at base. The base, though, it's being targeted by these minions. More are coming in. If the backs are stopped, it could be disastrous. But Cold Start is here. The Dragon is going to be started up by RIX this time around. It looks like they're not going to be able to close off, but I thought the minions were going to end it right there.
The minions once again having to have a paycheck rise in their as previously mentioned, but you know, RIX isn't just scared. They want to win the game. They want to win it right now.
Right now, Coldstone and Grizzly are going it, but they don't care about the enemy champions. They care about the Nexus. It's the clean sweep. RIX are going to the finals.
They definitely are on a 3-0 series, which I honestly didn't expect.
I mean, we had our 5-game series at the beginning of the day that people didn't expect. So, of course, this one has to be the quick 3-0, but all credit to RIX. This is a different team to the one we saw yesterday.
Absolutely.
I mean, you can hear it there. Leon being as vocal as ever, just right at the end. Mental Edge, he's yelling in the studio. The guys, they seem cool, calm, and collected, in high spirits. And most of the team, stone cold killers, let's face it like that. They're not like Unicorns of Love or Team Queso, where everyone erupts when moments are happening. They stay calm, they play their game.